Hey loves, I hope you're all doing well. Skin is connected to diet, hormones, gut, nervous system, and even how we speak to ourselves. So here's everything I did to clear my skin. A quick disclaimer. Acne is very common and it's not anything to be ashamed of. Almost everyone has experienced it at different severities. So please remember that your worth is not determined by your skin or your looks. You're good enough, you're loved, and everything is going to be okay. You are safe. So if you want to get clear skin, do it from a place of love for yourself, your body, and your health, not because of hatred or fear of what other people think. Also, I am not sponsored by any of the brands mentioned in this video. I have always had clear skin until around spring or summer of 2023, where everything changed. I'm not sure what happened. All I know is that it only took a few weeks for my skin to go from completely clear to the most acne I've ever experienced. I still don't know exactly what triggered it. All I know is around that time I caught a cold, possibly the flu, and I also took some medication called Brintane, which is mouth cavity gel with miconazole. And I took that because I was afraid I had some sort of fungi in my mouth, but it kind of just went away by itself, so I'm not really sure what it was, but I haven't had it since. And since then, I have been struggling with acne. I tried a lot of different things and products, and I did a lot of research. And now, almost 2 years later, my skin is the clearest it has been in a very long time. I haven't had a breakout in ages, but when the occasional pimple does show up, which is normal and totally okay, it heals much faster than it used to, thanks to everything I've been doing. I'm gonna start off with lifestyle tips, and the first is to minimize endocrine disruptors. These disrupt your hormones and are found many places. Pause the video here to read the list on the screen. Don't stress over this. It can be really hard to avoid, so just do your best and then forget the rest. Live your life, girly. Number 2. Sleep 8 to 10 hours every night and go to bed and wake up at the same time. Your body really loves predictability and routine. 3. Tongue scraping. I try to get at least 15 minutes of morning sunlight before the UV index comes above 3 for my vitamin D levels and my circadian rhythm. I try my best to avoid stress by spending less time on social media, taking deep breaths throughout the day, and learn to be your own best friend. Love yourself and give yourself hugs. I often tell myself, my job is to take as good care of this human as I possibly can. A peaceful mind helps your body relax, avoid stress, and in the long run, clear your skin. I change my pillowcase more often and I try to lay on my back. Lymphatic drainage. I would love to do more, but currently I've just been following this video. Have your last meal at least 3 hours before bed so your body can probably digest it before sleep. Avoid screens and blue light 1 hour before bed for optimal sleep. Try to stop thinking about your skin and stop picking it. I kept on thinking picking it would help, but the next day, the small whitehead I might have picked had just turned into a big pimple. So picking doesn't help. It might feel satisfying in the moment and feel like you're getting all the impurities out, but it's really just making it worse. Just let your skin take its time and it'll figure it all out. Your skin is a really intelligent organ, so just be patient with it and you're okay, and everything's gonna be okay and you're good enough. Change your bed sheet and body towel at least every 3 to 7 days. Breathe more deeply throughout the day. Get fresh air daily. Avoid touching your face, and as much as possible, keep your hair out of it. If possible, get a blood test to see if you lack certain vitamins or minerals or have too much of some of them. Diet and exercise. Drink at least 2 liters of water every day, and I would recommend to actually track it the first week because you might get surprised of how hard it actually can be to get at least 2 liters of water throughout the day. Avoid drinking water immediately before or after a meal, and avoid drinking liquids during a meal. It's best to hydrate 30 minutes before or after eating to allow for optimal digestion. Drink herbal tea. Buy loose leaf or a brand like Puka, Yogi tea, or Clipper, since they don't have microplastics in their tea bags. I would recommend spearmint tea, ginger tea, and green tea. And as we've all heard, exercise. I strength train for 20 to 30 minutes 2 to 5 times a week, and I walk between 5,000 to 10,000 steps every day outside for fresh air as well. But just start small and then build your way up. Don't stress over it. Then I take a lot of supplements, and you definitely probably don't need all of them, but I would recommend doing your own research and then feel how your body feels when taking these supplements if you decide to take them. But I take beef liver for the vitamin A, and I take vitamin D, omega-3, L-glutamine, magnesium glycinate, probiotics, bone broth, and sometimes a digestive supplement. Then I drink apple cider vinegar before big meals or carby meals. Then I avoid the following supplements because they can, for some people, make acne worse. And that is B12, whey protein, iodine, and biotin. Figure out if you have any food sensitivities. Unfortunately, you don't have to be allergic to something for it to affect your body. Here are the most common food triggers. If you have problems with your gut, you might want to avoid these foods as well if they affect you, since they can be hard to digest for some people, but only if you have tried eating them and then found yourself bloated afterwards or feeling pain, because these foods are very healthy foods. So if you tolerate them well, like for example, I tolerate all of them well, then you certainly don't have to avoid them. And then keep on eating them if you feel fine, no matter what other people say. Avoid eating them for 2 months if they make you feel uncomfortable, and then you can reintroduce them again. I have personally found that avoiding dairy, refined carbs, gluten, processed food, fast food, and sugar helps. I still eat it occasionally because you only live once, but limiting it helps a lot. And for me, after avoiding it completely for 2 months, it was like my body has reset and it had an easier time digesting it now without a skin reaction in comparison to before. And I would also say everything in moderation. Avoid spiking your glucose levels, also known as blood sugar. I recommend following Jessie, also known as the glucose goddess, if you want to know more, but here are her most popular hacks. Eat food in the right order. The right order to eat food is fiber, like your vegetables, and then protein, then fats, and then starches and sugars, also known as carbs. Number 2, always start with vegetables. She likes to call it a veggie starter, and that is to start eating some vegetables that should make up about 30% of your meal, because that's gonna really reduce glucose, also known as blood sugar spikes. Number 3, always have a savory breakfast. This could include protein, fat, fiber, and optional starches. So for example, some eggs with berries and some avocado, or one of my favorites, savory oats. I didn't know you could make oatmeal savory and that it would actually taste good, but it actually tastes really good. So I like to make oatmeal with eggs in it and squash and carrots and like a bunch of vegetables, and it's actually really tasty. Number 4, vinegar. Vinegar can be consumed as 1 tablespoon in a tall glass of water with a straw to protect your teeth, ideally up to 20 minutes before a meal, and then it will reduce the spike from your meal by up to 30%. Number 5, after eating, try to move for 10 minutes to reduce glucose spike from the meal, like walking or tidying your house or doing calf raises. It doesn't have to be a full workout. Number 6, put clothes on your carbs. Pair your carbs with fiber, protein, and healthy fats to reduce their impact on glucose levels. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly many times on each bite, and breathe deeply while eating. That's really gonna help your digestive system And a happy gut and happy digestive system means happy skin. Eat whole foods and lots of fiber. The recommended fiber intake daily is 25 to 30 grams. Don't multitask while eating. Eat slow and mindfully and focus on how the food feels, tastes, how it makes your body feel. And now, skincare. I went from using a lot of skincare to only a few fungal acne and acne safe skincare products. I recommend to check your products and only use products without pore clogging ingredients and that are mostly fungal acne safe, also known as folliculitis. I use websites like NCD Coder, Cisia, and pore clogging ingredients to figure out if a product is worth it and right for me, or if it isn't. I also started looking at my skin less often in the mirror and thinking about it less and worrying less about it. Somehow it works. Use lukewarm water to wash your face, so not too hot, not too cold. Have a separate towel for your hands that only you use. And then I use bamboo tissues to tap my face dry after washing it. I've seen on TikTok that a lot of people use these, but I have not been able to find them in Europe, and they're probably also a lot more expensive than these. I've just found my skin more clear after I started using these disposable but biodegradable tissues for my face instead of a face towel, because it quickly becomes a place for bacteria. Here is a few things that did not work for me before I go into what actually did work for me. When my acne was really bad, I got prescribed Clindoxil and it completely ruined my skin. Like, it made it so much worse and it was so painful. Never ever again. Then I started gua sha once and I did it consistently, but then I stopped again since it felt like it made my acne worse by spreading my acne and irritating my skin, even though I cleansed my face before doing it and wiped my gua sha off with an alcohol wipe first. So I stopped doing gua sha and it looks like it helped. Every morning I either don't cleanse at all or only with water, depending on the day. But especially after exercising, I make sure to cleanse. But I only cleanse with water in the morning. And here are all my skincare products I quickly collected for you guys, so I can show you. So sometimes I use hypochlorous acid if I feel like I'm breaking out or to cleanse a breakout that has popped, but it's important not to overdo it. But this is the one that I use. Then I, in the morning, apply moisturizer or sunscreen. This is the moisturizer I use. And then on days where the UV index is above 3, I use this sunscreen from Purito as well. It has been so hard to find a good sunscreen. I can quickly show you other ones I've tried before. And then I've also used this one. So I bought this one and then I tried it, and for some reason something was wrong with it. When I tried spreading it on my skin, it didn't go on smoothly at all. So I wrote to the company and then they sent me a new one, but the same happened with this one. So I just ended up not using it at all. I used to use this one and it was my favorite for a very long time until I switched over to this one. If this didn't exist, I would probably still use this one, and it is a favorite for many people who also struggle with their skin. But since I started using this one, I prefer this one. And I did actually find 2 sunscreens that doesn't have any pore clogging ingredients and no fungal acne trigger ingredients at all, which are these 2, and I wish I loved them. Their ingredients list are so good and they have no pore clogging ingredients, no fungal acne trigger ingredients whatsoever. The reason I haven't used them up is because they pill. When I apply them, it's all fine and they're fine throughout the day. Although this one dries my skin out, but they're fine throughout the day, but they're so hard to get off, and when you wash them off, the sunscreen turned into hard peeling, so it feels like a scrub, so it actually hurts to take them off. So that's why I didn't end up continuing using them, which is so sad because they're so good. After I've used these, I go in with a little bit of makeup. I use this one from a brand in my country. I'm not sure you can get it anywhere outside of Denmark, but it's basically a concealer. and then it looks like this. And I just use the light version, and it is basically a concealer, and I find it hides my red spots really well, and it has hyaluronic acid, allantoin, and niacinamide. It has a really good ingredients list. Then in the PM, I go in with micellar water, this one, if I've worn makeup and or sunscreen, and I don't use it if I've just been wearing moisturizer. And then I go in with this cleanser after the micellar water. And I just want to mention with the micellar water that it's important you really soak the cotton pad with micellar water and then gently glide it across your skin so you don't tug on your skin and irritate it. And with this cleanser, it's important to foam it up in your hands first and then cleanse with it gently for at least 1 to 2 minutes, slowly counting to 60 in your head, and then wash it off with lukewarm water. I used to use the Perito serum, but I found my skin really didn't like it, even though so many people love it. So I stopped using it. And then I tried this Silimax serum. The ingredients in this one is amazing. It's so good for redness. But I stopped using it because TikTok started talking about this one. So I just started using this. I use it not every day. I use it about 3 times a week because you actually shouldn't overdo it. But it's an azelaic acid, and I'm really hoping it's gonna help with my PIE, also called PI, which is post-inflammatory erythema. And here is a new thing I started recently. Acne. It's a prescription retinoid like tretinoin and other retinoids, but it's a little bit different. But when I got prescribed this by my dermatologist, I was like, what is this? I have never seen it before or heard about it. And when I looked it up on TikTok and YouTube, I almost couldn't find any content about it. It should be less irritating and more gentle, but still effective. And I've used it 10 times so far. Side effects can be drying and peeling and burning and redness, so I was really scared to try it. But I'm actually so happy I did, because the only side effects I've experienced is just a little bit more dryness, then I just apply more moisturizer, and then peeling, but it's not as bad as it sounds. So if I applied Monday evening, I can experience peeling from Friday to Sunday since I started using this. And I also quickly want to mention that I don't use these on the same night. When I use this, I only use this, and when I use this, I only use this. Then after all of that, I go in with this eye cream, and then I apply this to my lips. Hey guys, I was just editing and I just realized that I completely forgot to talk about these. For me, they really work, making you avoid picking at your pimples, and they're also really great at getting rid of the pimple. So yeah. Then when I sometimes have an everything shower, I love to use this mask. I don't have it right now because I used it, but this mask is so calming and nice and hydrating. I love it. It's just my favorite sheet mask. Alright you guys, we're done. We went through all lifestyle, diet, fitness, and skincare, and I really hope this is going to help you guys. I wish you all the clearest skin you could ever imagine. And I know this can sound overwhelming, and it is a lot. So just start with one thing. Focus on one new habit each week and slowly implement the rest. Be kind and patient with yourself. Healing takes time, but you'll get there. And remember, your skin is your messenger, not your enemy. You are already worth it, with or without perfect skin. And healing isn't linear, and that's okay. You'll get there. You're safe, you're good enough. I love you, you are loved. Have an amazing day, my loves, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!